Page number 91, ascending order. Page number 91, ascending order. Now, ascending order. Ascending order of fraction means arrangement of fraction from the smallest to the biggest. Arrangement of fraction from the smallest fraction to the biggest. Ascending means to go up. Go up like this. Ascending means to go up. This is ascending order. Now, arranging fraction with same denominator. Now we will learn about how to arrange fraction in ascending order with the same denominator. Now arranging fraction with same denominator. Now look at page number 91. Now arranging fractions with same denominator. When the denominator of all the fractions are same, then the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. So when the denominators of all the fractions are same, then the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. Then the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. The fraction with the smaller numerator is the smallest fraction. So when the denominator is same, the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. The fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. And the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest fraction. Now look on the board. Now when the denominators of all the fractions are same, when the denominator of all the fractions are same, then the fraction with the bigger numerator, is the bigger fraction. The fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction, and the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest fraction. Now, in the fraction ascending order. Now, A is 1 upon 6, 5 upon 6 and 4 upon 6, and B is 3 upon 5, 4 upon 5 and 1 upon 5. Now ascending means from small to big. Ascending means from small to big. Now look at this. Here the denominators are same. What is same? Denominators are same. Now 6, 6, 6. When the denominators are same, the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest fraction. When the denominators are same, the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest. Now there are three fractions. All the numerators are same. 6, 6, 6. Now look at the numerator. 1, 5 and 4. Which is the smallest numerator? 1. So this is the smallest fraction. After 1, now 5 and 4. Which is smaller? 4. 4 is on the 1 and the last one is 5. So when you arrange it as ascending order, when the denominators are same, we look at the fraction with the smallest numerator comes first, and the fraction with the biggest numerator comes last. This is ascending order now. Now look at this. Now 3 upon 5, 4 upon 5 and 1 upon 5. The denominators are same. 5, 5 and 5. Now look. Now when the denominators are same, the fraction which has got the smallest numerator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction which has got the biggest numerator is the biggest fraction. Here 3, 4 and 1. Which is smallest? 1. 1 is the smallest numerator. Then after 1, 3 and 4. Which is bigger? Which is smaller? 4 and 3. Which is smaller? 3. 3 and last remaining is 4. You say you can arrange in ascending order when the denominators are same. Now next we come to arranging fractions with same numerator. The previously we did with the same denominator, now with the same numerator. Now look at page number 91. When the numerators are equal in all the fractions, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. So when the numerators are equal in all the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. Look at page number 91 there. Now, arranging fraction with the same numerator. Can you see that? When the numerators are equal in all the fractions, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. So, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. Now, look at example 16. Arrange following in ascending order. Now A is 1 upon 8 and 1 upon 5, and B 2 upon 9, 2 upon 5 and 2 upon 7. So when the numerators are same, here all the numerators 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. When the numerators are same, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. The fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. The fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now look here. Look at the denominators only. 2, 8, 2 and 5. Ascending order means small to big now. 1 upon 8, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 5, which is smallest. The fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. Now biggest denominator is 8. Now you write 1 upon 8. Now next comes 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 5, which is small. The fraction with the biggest denominator, because the numerators are same. 2 and 5, which is big? 5. 1 upon 5, and last one is 1 upon 2. So this will arrange in ascending order from small to big. When the numerators are same, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. When the numerators are same, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Here also, look here, fraction, all the numerators are same, 2, 2, 2. Now fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. Biggest denominator is 9. 2 upon 9 is smallest. Now 5 and 7, which is big? 7. This up, then comes 7, because biggest denominator is smaller. Then 2 upon 7, and last one is 2 upon 5. So this way you can write the fraction in arranging ascending order when the fraction have the same numerator. Now we come to descending order. What does descending order mean? Descending order of fraction means arranging fractions from the biggest to the smallest. Arranging fraction from the biggest to the smallest. Descending means to go down like this. From here, from biggest to the smallest. Descending order of fraction means arranging fraction from the biggest to the smallest. Now arranging fraction with the same denominator now. Now we come to arranging fractions. Arranging fractions. With same denominator. Now arranging fractions with same denominator. Now look at page number 92, example 17. Example 17. Arrange the following fraction in descending order. Arrange the fractions in descending. Arrange the fraction in descending order. Now A is 3 upon 7, then 1 upon 7 and 5 upon 7, and B 2 upon 9, 5 upon 9 and 7 upon 9. You have to arrange this in descending order. Descending order means from biggest to the smallest. Descending order means biggest to the. Now we know that when the denominator of the fractions are same, the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. So when the denominator is same, we know that the fraction with the bigger numerator is the bigger fraction, and the fraction with the smaller numerator is the smaller fraction when the denominators are same. Now look here. Here the fraction with the bigger numerator is the biggest now. Here descending means from big to now you write big first. Now the denominators are same, we write the denominators first. Now look at the numerators. 3, 1 and 5. Which is the biggest? 5. 5 is the biggest. That is 5 upon 7. Then 3 and 1. Which is big? 3. 3. Then last one, 1. When the denominators are same, the fraction with the bigger numerator is the biggest. The fraction with the bigger numerator is the biggest, and the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest. Now look here, here also the denominators are same. 9, 9, 9. Now first we write the denominator 2, 3. Now we know that when the denominators are same, the fractions with the bigger numerator is the biggest, and the fraction with the smallest numerator is smallest. Now look at the numerator. 2, 5 and 7. Which is the biggest? 2, 5 and 7. Which is the biggest? 7. Now 7 finish. 2 and 5. Which is big? 5. And last one, what is remaining? 2. So this way we can arrange the fractions in descending order when the denominators are same. Now arranging fractions with the same numerator. Descending order, arranging fractions with same numerator. We know that when the numerators are equal in all fractions, when the numerators are equal in all the fractions, the fraction with the biggest denominator, is the smallest. The fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. So the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now arrange the following fraction in descending order. Descending order means from big to small. Now look here, 1 upon 5, 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 7. Now when the numerators are same, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. The fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now look here, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now which is the smallest denominator here? Okay, 1, 1, 1 is all the numerator is same. Which is the smallest denominator? 3. The 3 is the biggest. And up 5 and 7, which is small? 5. 5. And last one is 7. So 1 upon 3 is bigger than 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is bigger than 1 upon 7. In arranging descending order from big to small. Now look here. Here also the denominators are different and the numerators are same. We write the numerator here, 3, 3, 3. When the numerators are same, the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. The fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now denominator 5, 8 and 10, which is smallest here? 5. Now 8 and 10, which is small? 8. And lastly 10. So this way we arrange the fractions in descending order when the numerators are same.